filters are in, cap is on.
All right, ready?
Yes, sir.
All right, so now we can turn the spa on. GFCI, which is actually called a spa disconnect, is your true on and off switch, okay? This tub will stay continuously running just like your refrigerator, okay? This little switch right here goes off and on, okay? It has a little test button right here. This is what makes it a GFCI, okay? On the outside of your house, right here, before it goes to the spa, it has to have this test button. So this one is correct. This is the proper setup for any kind of hot tub, okay? It is mandatory that it has a spa disconnect. It cannot be a pull-out AC disconnect, and it can't be a regular breaker without this little test button, because that is what actually makes it a GFCI disconnect, okay? So we can turn our spa on, and now our spa should come alive. The pad on the front side is going to illuminate. It's going to say a couple of different things. In this case, it's going to say like marquee initializing. It'll go through a couple little code numbers and stuff. And then it's going to tell us to run the pumps and purge the air, okay? Do not do anything when initially setting your spa up unless it takes too long. It typically comes alive all by itself, okay? When the spa comes on, only one side of the spa is going to be operating by itself, okay? This is the part that usually runs the heating and the filtration system, okay? So when your tub needs to heat up or it needs to run a filtration cycle, it's gonna turn on just like it's fixing to here in a second when the spa comes alive every time it needs to do so. So do not be freaked out when the spa turns on like at a weird hour. It's not possessed. No one should be out here. It's just cleaning up, doing its thing, or reheating the water up, okay? So once that side comes on, there will be a touchscreen control that shows us little icons that we can control that from, okay? We can push those buttons and we can activate whatever we need to activate. On this screen right now, it's in a priming mode, but it gives us options for Jet 1, Jet 2, and Jet 3, okay? Typically, these are all 2-speed pumps. This Jet 3 might be a 1-speed pump. If it's a 2-speed pump, you should be able to go low, high, off, low, high, off. If it's a 1-speed pump, it will only go high and off, okay? So this one should pretty much come on by itself. Then we'll have to manually turn on these 2 other pumps, okay? Whatever other pumps are remaining on your system. When you turn on Jet 2, normally that is typically where people experience an airlock, okay? If you get it, you can typically get rid of it by trying to get the system to burp itself out by playing with this button in about 5-second intervals, okay? Going between low, wait 5 seconds, go high, wait 5 seconds, go off. Wait 5 more seconds and begin to repeat that process for up to a minute. If it surpasses a minute, I advise you just bleed the pump manually, okay? If you have to bleed the pump manually, okay, cabinet has to come off. On the bottom center of the pump, beneath a big white collar, will be a little bleed valve, okay? It typically takes a little pair of pliers to just crank it loose, and then you can turn it by hand until it pretty much almost comes off. And then once you got water coming out of there, you can just go ahead and screw it back on tight. Do it slowly at first, and you'll get little bubbles coming out, and you can see the water kind of bubble along the edge and stuff, okay? Until you get like a little steady drip coming out of there, then you can just tighten it right back, okay? Bleeding that pump manually yourself will save you a $185 phone call, okay? It's just some Phillips screws right here, take it off, and the pump should be exposed in that area, okay? It's typically the pump that is right here in this front right corner, okay? But once the spa starts running, ensure you have no airlock before you begin doing your chemicals, okay? We're gonna go over your knobs real quick and the other things while it finishes going over this real quick though, okay? You've got knobs located at the top. They all say different letters. This one says WF. It will control the waterfall. You have a waterfall on the right and the waterfall in the back, okay? Those are your 2 waterfalls. They will come up and spit out water. You can increase and decrease pressure by slowly turning that knob either way till either it's full blast or it's cut off and it's fully retracted. Always ensure that your waterfalls are fully retracted before you close your lid. You will snap those plastic stems that they come up on, okay? This is a big reason to get service calls is somebody broke the waterfall. You'll know if it's broke because it won't come up, it'll barely bobble, and the top will just simply flood with water, okay? Now your spa has finished going through its priming mode. It has now come alive all by itself, okay? It just takes a couple of minutes, as you can see, and then it just comes on alive, all right? So we can see we're pushing water from that first pump. We can now walk over to our control button, all right? This is your home screen. This is what it looks like. These two little arrows up and down are temperature up and down. You can increase and decrease pressure. Once the temperature sensor reads a number, there will be temperature red there that the spa is reading at, okay? Once you get past that, once you get there, you can go ahead and just start playing with your temperature and adjust it however you like. 98 to 102 is about the average range for running temperature on a hot tub, okay? It's already preset to go at 100. We'll just leave it there and you can adjust it however you want. 90 feels like a controlled pool. 95 starts to get really warm. 100 is hot. 104 is really hot, okay? So you can just play with it and see how you want. Without touching the control, it'll be like a phone screen. It'll just turn black like it did now. You can touch your screen. It'll tell you to slide your finger from one end of the screen to the other following the arrows. This will swipe the screen open just like your phone, okay? We now have a reading temperature of 63 degrees. If we touch the arrow up, those black numbers will change into a different color. They'll change into a golden color, and you can see we are now adjusting the temperature. We're gonna go ahead and leave it at the preset 100 for you, and you can adjust it accordingly however you see fit, okay? Other knobs we have an air control knob, okay? When adding chemicals, these air control knobs need to be turned off, okay? We turned them off because they were using extra oxygen to put more power behind the jets. However, they would dissipate the chemicals too quickly and they would not have time to have full reaction inside of the water. So always ensure that those are off. It is a visible difference between on and off for your air controls. If they are off, all you will simply see is a ripple of the water. If they are on, you can actually see the jet stream of water coming out of those jets, okay? You have an NJ. This stands for neck jet. It will work these neck jets underneath the head pillow individually from the rest of the seat. However, all these jets have the ability to open and close individually if you want to do so. All you simply do is turn this ring. It can open and close, okay? So you don't necessarily have to use that knob. And that is for every jet that is on your spa, okay? The big ones, say Z3, these are zone knobs. These basically are diverter valves that change water pressure from seat to seat, side to side, open and closing lines, okay? You can play with it, try to get full power one way, a little bit of power the other way, or you can try to find a middle ground to get even distribution throughout the spa, okay? You have another AC control, another NJ control, which is another neck jet, a big giant, another zone knob on the other side. Over there, another zone, followed by another AC control and another neck jet knob, okay? This little cap right here in the front, this is where your cartridge system will go, okay? You'll turn this cap up. There's a white handle, okay, exposed. Take the handle, you'll twist and pull out. It's a long cylindrical housing, okay? It's labeled on the back side. One side is open, one side is closed with big black letters so you can tell what chemical goes where, and we'll go over those here shortly, okay? But when you're done and you need to put it back in, there are two triangles on this handle. There are also triangles around this rim. Align them, push it down, twist it to lock it in place, okay? And we'll go over that more here shortly, okay? But that's for that. Quick stop that video.